Yeah, we knew it was going to be sloppy, just coming off the break, only having 3 days to practice. So glad that we hopefully got that out of the way. We'll have a day off tomorrow, and then hopefully we can get just clean some things up going forward.
Questions, please. Start with Maria and then Cora.
Coach, the largest crowd of the season, Jill Spear actually commented, thanked the fans. Just how nice was that to see on a Sunday afternoon?
It was awesome. We were not expecting it, not for this game, not on this day. And they stayed the whole game, and they were loud, and it was fun. And so that was really cool for me to see.
Early in the game before she was really scoring a lot towards the end, Kanaya Boyd just looked different. It was like her assist to Sarah Puckett, I think, where I was like, well, okay, I feel like I see what you were talking about yesterday, just from more of just like a mental standpoint. How ready do you feel like she is for SEC play now compared to the beginning of the season?
Yeah, I mean, she's a freshman, so it's going to come and go, and that's fine. She doesn't have to lead the show. She can just play free and be who she is. But she's had a really good week of practice, and so I was happy for it to translate to the game today.
Go next to Ryan, followed by Casey.
After that third quarter, how positive was it that they responded, outscoring 31-4 in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I think the other team just got a little tired. It's still all around the fact that we gave up 18 offensive rebounds is horrible. So we're going to watch a lot of things in our press and on our rebounding whenever we get back.
Those points that you guys scored in the paint so far this season, it looked like they were kind of looking to make more of those opportunities on the inside. What did you like about the looks that they were getting?
Yeah, we definitely had a size advantage, and we've been talking about playing to your strengths, and I think that they did that today.
Go next to Cora.
I think at this point probably rebounding is the biggest, area of improvement going into SEC play. Just what's the ideal margin you're looking for? Kind of what are those conversations like, of the areas you want them to improve on a little details?
Yeah, I mean, we just cannot give up 18 offensive rebounds to anyone. And so if you're going to, this team is not incredibly tall. I think we were the taller team. And so when we play teams that are taller than us, that number is going to be doubled, and it's going to be horrible. And so our players just have to take it seriously.
Caleb.
How nice was it to see Sarah build on her performance last time out and drop another 17 points?
It was good. It just continued to pour into her as well, and she can watch the film, and she had another good game. And the better she is, the better we are.
I know you weren't here last year, but Kanaya early enrolling, do you feel like that's been a benefit for her to kind of adjust quicker this year than maybe she would have?
I would imagine, just because it's hard to be the only freshman, so at least she wasn't the only new freshman.
Paige.
She was fun. She said, after she made the first three, she knew it was over, and, she never made it to the rest of the way. Did you see that confidence in her as well?
I have seen the confidence from her all week. She honestly, since she got back from Christmas break, has looked like a different player, and so that to me has been really big.
Go next to Cora and then Maria.
The team is kind of leveled out around 30 3-pointers attempts per game the last few games. Do you feel like they've gotten more of a grasp on, the shot selection from 3-point range, or are you still kind of wanting them to, make better choices at times?
Yeah, I do think in the second half we took some certain people took some that they probably shouldn't have, or we had a driving lane, especially since we weren't incredibly hot today, but I do think it's gotten better.
Coach, I asked Samika about the home run play, and she shared, the one over the press. She said it was a path play to get Michelle Snow open for a dunk in Hawaii, a game that Samika missed because she slipped away to Belgium to see her boyfriend, and Pat didn't suspend her for the opening game. She suspended her for the Hawaii tournament. So she wanted to let Pat know, hey, I'm still running your plays. I told her I don't think Coach Caldwell probably liked that play as much, but just...
Well, I do appreciate the story behind it. It makes me a little less mad.
Go next to Casey and then Paige.
Tonight, everyone really sharing the ball before the half. No one was in double-digit scoring, and then 6 people ended with 10 points or more. Just what does that say about this team?
Yeah, I think it's going to continue to come in bunches, and I think they did a pretty good job sharing the ball again. Shot selection was good. Nobody really forced it, which, again, these are games where somebody can come and just force it and try to get theirs, and I didn't really see a whole lot of that.
Paige and then Camille.
Just a quick follow-up on Kanaya. You mentioned that she was has been confident, but more so after Christmas break. Is she one of those players that really took to your notes during that Christmas break to continue working or take time off? Do you think it was something during that break, right? Something clicked for her?
Yeah, maybe she just needed a break. Sometimes when you're a freshman, it's a really long season, so maybe she just needed the 4 days to come back a little bit refreshed.
Obviously, the play is going to amp up from here, but being 12-0, how are you going to kind of have your girls handle having a target on your back heading into SEC play?
Yeah, I think our SEC January schedule is pretty brutal, and so I don't know how often we will be the favorite because we play a lot of top 10 teams in the next 30, 35 days. And so we just need, I'm just gonna try to keep them humble, and make sure that we watch the film and we learn from this film. This film should humble them pretty quickly.
Casey and then Maria.
I felt like they were kind of seeing each other a little bit more on the court. I know when Jill was in the inside, they're screaming at her to turn around, and then Samara was also screaming, I forget who it was, to turn around and look. Do you feel like they're finding each other on the court a little bit better now?
I do. I think they had a lot of selfless plays at the end. I mean, you had Kanaya who had a career night, and she has Edie and Avery and Destiny in there with her at the end, and she's telling them to shoot it. She didn't try to just go get hers and up her points. Jill had a really good pass out to Tess, where Jill could have just gone up and got hers, and she didn't. She kicked it out. I think Tess and Sam do a really good job of telling people what to do on the floor, and they are the eyes for some of the people that have the ball in their hands.
Maria and then Cora.
For reasons that trace to Pat Summitt and have nothing to do with the coaches that followed her or Tennessee, Tennessee's target on its back is huge. Players have to learn that what they see on film in the previous game is not the team they're gonna see on the floor. They just come at Tennessee. How do you sort of balance that? I mean, you keep it like one game at a time. How do you keep the team realizing, I mean, everything is about to change right now.
Yeah, I've tried to explain that, and I think they get it. We had a lot of nods. We did talk about our next games coming up. We're still going to play with a chip on our shoulder. I mean, we're not the number one team. We were picked, what, I don't know what we were picked, 9th?
7th, I think.
Yeah,
7th.
so we're going to keep a chip on our shoulder. We're going to continue to thrive as the underdog until we're not.
Cora.
Outside the rebounding, what's your top priority of getting, cleaned up and, as you enter SEC play?
Yeah, I think we just need to be, I think it kind of goes to rebounding, but just being more physical. We get our hands on a lot of balls so we don't grab them. And again, like when we're playing people that are just as strong or stronger than us, those balls, those possessions are not going to go our way, that have been going our way, and that's going to add up quickly.
Camille and then Paige.
I know you obviously came to Tennessee to win ball games, but did you ever think that when you took this job, you would end out 2024 not having a Tennessee loss yet?
Nope, not at all.
How would you evaluate Jillian Hollingshead today, whether it's her playing more physical or going up and getting those boards?
Yeah, she had a good day, and she had a kind of a limited week of practice too. She had some personal things going on, so for her to be able to step on the floor, having only seen the scout once, and still, she's just so good inside, and it doesn't even show up on the stat sheet, just being a defender on the inside, which is gonna be really big for us going into SEC play.
Casey, Maria, and Cora.
This may be kind of a weird question, but are you a coach that likes to be undefeated, or do you kind of look for that first loss to be able to have more corrections to give the team?
I do think you can teach more on a loss. We have tried really hard to treat some of these wins as losses, but when you're an 18 to 22-year-old, sometimes it hits more when you lose.
Just a quick follow-up on you being surprised, not expecting 12-0. I'm not sure anybody expected that, maybe the players did, but can you expand on that a little bit? Has the team surprised you with the speed with which they caught up with what you want them to do? What's surprising to you about not having an unblemished record at this point?
Yeah, I think it's definitely the team. All of the teams that I have coached usually start out really slow, and we did start out slow. I do think we've gotten better. I do think if we played our early November selves, the team right now would win pretty handedly. But how the team has just bought in and played hard and been selfless. They don't really care about who's getting shots and who's doing what. They're just, as you saw tonight and we just talked about, just a lot of assists. They're having fun doing it. That to me is what has led to the 12-0 start.
Cora.
Kind of a quiet day for Coop. Hasn't had a ton of rebounding assist production lately. Is there times you want her to be more assertive with that? It's not like she had a bad day by any means, but are there times you want her to be more assertive within the game, or I don't know, take more control over what's happening on the court?
Yeah, I mean, she had 5 steals, 6 points. She had a pretty good stat line. She probably should have got more shots.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.